Welcome back. Remember, this is MTN Breakfast Show. As I told you today, I'll come with a guest. Maybe,
Asante sana.
If you can just tell the audience, who are you?
I am Waithaka Macharia, a law student at the University of Nairobi. They call me Sheriff, a political enthusiast and a person who is very much interested in the running of the country and how things are going in terms of the economic state and the political state of the nation.
Oh, maybe I'll call you Sharif.
Yeah.
Maybe if you want to mind, if you can tell the audience or us, why study law? Why at that angle? Why not preaching? Why not?
You know, the law is what drives the country. The law is what drives the democracy that we are living in, and the law is basically everything that we are. And I don't think there's anything better than that. Something that forms the foundation of everything that we are standing on. Because right now, for this media house to be operational, that is the work of the law. And then, yeah, just that, basically that.
Maybe besides that, because you are interested in national politics.
Yeah.
Maybe if you won't mind, between NASA and Jubilee, with your own political analysis, what do you think will happen if one of them steps out?
If at all one steps out, as we have seen, we have about 8 presidential candidates. So August 8 will still be an election day because we still have other candidates to factor in. And maybe Kenya will win because we will have peaceful elections. You know, the reason why we always have peaceful elections is because we have a 2-horse race. And most of the times, you find that when these 2 horses are trying to win in this political race, they use whichever means necessary. The government, which is always in the having the upper hand, finds itself pitted against an opposition which might be very reckless in terms of how it speaks, and that is what leads to elections that are not that peaceful.
What do you mean by the term reckless in terms of speaking?
Remember, before 2007, people did not just start fighting. You remember there was a rhetoric that was being sold by the opposition, and the government was just sitting there. It did not look at the issues that that are at hand. There were land issues, and those land issues still exist in Rift Valley in the Coast Province. And the opposition's rhetoric was that there won't be peace in these elections if we do not win. And immediately the opposition was not declared as the winner in 2007, and Kibaki came out as the winner. You know what happened in Rift Valley? The Nandis and all,
Kisumu,
and part of Kisumu, and here in Nairobi, people started fighting. There are very different reasons for why people started fighting. In Kisumu, it was political. In Nairobi, it was political. But in some areas of Rift Valley, it was all about the land issues that were there. It was a battle between, it is well known, that it was a battle between the Nandi and the Kikuyu. And that when you have such a reckless opposition and a government which does not care about the peace in the country,
yes,
then that is the only result that you can expect.
Now, Sharif, maybe a NASA structure. Do you think Raila coming in as a NASA flag bearer, it would be maybe a threat to the government or Uhuru Kenyatta?
I make this stand, and I will always be on this stand, that there will always be a difference when, let me say in layman terms, that when fools come together. Like you can see in Kiambu, let me give you an example. It's not fools in the literal sense. It's not to try and insult anyone. They are saying. In Kiambu, you can see how Waitito came to win. He united each and every person who was, they were acting against one man, Kabogo. They were creating what we call...
But I think Kenyans like, maybe let's say, the tough people.
It's not about who is tougher than who. It's about who sells his ideology better than the other. And this is politics. Politics, as you heard Bwana Ruto yesterday, says ni maneno ya kuuza maneno tu hapa na pale. So whoever is able to sell their ideology better to the people, it's like a marketplace where you're going to sell bananas, and whoever presents his better or has better will be the one who will win. And NASA, they have come together, they have formed a pentagon, and I was trying to compare it to Kiambu, where Waitito formed a conglomerate against Kabogo, and it came to win.
I don't think Waitito is better than Kabogo, despite the fact he's doing all those.
No, Waitito is just but another demagogue who he is a stone thrower, but then we can give him the benefit of doubt because, you know, he has a deputy governor, and the deputy governor is what we can call a technocrat, and so since they will be working together, maybe we can give Waitito the benefit of doubt, or of the doubt. Come to the question of NASA. They have formed a pentagon of sorts, but this pentagon that they have formed, the question is, yes, they have united the opposition as against the government of the day. But the question is, are they going to amass those numbers that are necessary, the 10,000 strong that I was saying?
But logically, if you see Kalonzo will get votes from Kambani, Raila will get votes from Nyanza, logically, do you think they will win in numbers?
I don't think they have the numbers. In a hypothetical situation, they do, because the Luhya nation combined and the Kamba nation combined and all those nations combined, they give that hypothetical 8 million votes, which I don't know where they are coming with the 10 million, yes. But then, you come to this situation, also consider that Jubilee is in the game. And when you look at the past 2 years, Jubilee has been able to raid in the cord regions in a very big manner, such that in the coast region, in the coast province region, you will find that Jubilee has more people there than it had back in 2013. In the Luhya nation, you will find that they have more people. In the Kisii nation, they have more people than they had. And the strongholds for Jubilee, that is the central region and the Rift Valley region, has not been raided as such. When you talk about Isaac Ruto in Rift Valley, yes, I would say that Isaac Ruto is a nobody. Isaac Ruto cannot be able to amass that 1.3. His CCM is a very weak party. Chama cha Mapinduzi is a very weak party. And I would reiterate what the Deputy President said yesterday, that Isaac Ruto is just running away from the gubernatorial race, and because he knows that he will lose. So I don't think that NASA can be able to amass the of that 10 million votes that they're saying.
Maybe what if Kalonzo Musyoka could be given the flag bearer and Mudavadi to be the deputy?
Let us say that was a hypothetical that already passed. Its time. They already chose their flag bearer. They already made themselves into a train wreck waiting to happen. It's an accident waiting to happen. And they are lying to the people. But if they had chosen another flag bearer, not Kalonzo necessarily, Kalonzo is a deputy president. I will remain to be a deputy president forever. If they would have chosen Mudavadi, Mudavadi has that face that looks like Kibaki, would look like a Kibaki, and if you go around the central region and some of these regions, you will hear people say, then before they chose the flag bearer, people would say that if we would give us Mudavadi, maybe
we can think about that.
We can think about that. But you remember that there was a question of voter apathy in the central region and the Rift Valley region, not mostly in the central region. And if Mudavadi would have been the flag bearer, you would have found people who are saying that we are not going to vote for Jubilee, or we are not going to come out and vote. They would come out to vote, but vote for Mudavadi, you see. But right now, Raila is what we can call an old idea. He has been in politics for 40 years.
Then, yes.
And he's bringing in nothing new. He's just this person who is a populist, who rallies people against the government, always rallying people against the government. The only time he won was in 2002 when he said Kibaki Tosha. And he is an old idea.
But people believe in him. People believe he's the eye of Kenyans because so many things he erupts from nowhere. The likes of corruption, the likes of everything.
The same Raila you were saying brings out corruption from everywhere, from right, left, and center, is the same Raila who said that Mudavadi was involved with a scandal. I can't remember which exactly. But recently he said that Mudavadi is clear and he is clean. He was in the government right then.
Just remember, in 2013 elections, Mudavadi was alone. And now...
We are talking about right now.
Yes, no, not right now. 2013.
Yeah.
He was alone. He ran as a presidential candidate alone.
Yeah.
But now he has joined, and Raila also was alone. And Uhuru was with the Ruto.
Yeah.
But now Raila has combined with Mudavadi. Don't you think they will outdo this government?
Let me ask you this question. And how many votes did Mudavadi get?
Approximately 640-something thousand.
No, it was below 500,000. And how many votes did Kalonzo and Raila get? They got 4 point something, right? 4.2, I think. And Uhuru got the 50+1 that he needed. And now, the figure, nothing has changed. They are saying that
50+1.
The 50+1.
The gap was so small.
Then
you can agree with me. The gap was so small.
Yes, the gap was small.
Yes, and now Mudavadi has now come with Raila. Don't you think there is something fishy there?
No, there's nothing to fear.
Yes.
There's nothing to fear. I would say there's nothing to fear for Jubilee.
But I think Mudavadi can fill the gap.
He cannot fill the gap. He cannot fill in the gap. I would say he had nothing, let me say.
But he has the numbers in Western.
Now, they brought Western together by bringing Musalia Mudavadi and this other guy. This other guy who was beaten by his wife. Now, by bringing that guy together, by bringing those two guys together, they are selling the lie that the Luhya nation is united. And there's nothing wrong by the Luhya nation being united. In fact, we want it to be united. The wrong thing is that they are selling a lie and saying that the Luhya nation are united as against Jubilee. But they are forgetting that Jubilee has stolen a lot from them. Babu Namwamba is supporting Jubilee. Is he not Luhya? We have other people right there who are in Jubilee, right? We have 4 governors who are in Jubilee. Then we will steal those votes. But they will not steal anything in Central Region. They will not steal anything. I told you Isaac Ruto is a nobody. So they will not steal anything in Rift Valley. So we are still strong. And 70+1 is real.
Are you a Jubilee agent?
I'm not a Jubilee agent. I'm just a person, and this is something that I want to clear.
Yes.
That I'm a person who believes in this country. I'm a person who believes that this country needs to go places. It needs to go to the levels of Mauritius, which we were in the same level and ahead back in 1965. And now, we are way below. We are still a third world country and everything, but we have a lot of potential. I'm looking at 2 evils right here. I will admit that Uhuru has not been so much of a success, but Raila would not be so much of a success. I'll ask you this question, and I will pose the question to anyone who is in NASA. What is the ideology of NASA? What are they going to do for us? Jubilee has told me that they are going to continue building the roads. They are going to continue building the infrastructure. They are telling me that they have a long-term project to make sure that this country does not continue suffering with lack of food, yet we are along the equator, yet we have a very good source. They have told me what they are going to do for me. And as the common mwananchi, as a part of the common mwananchi, that is what I want. I do not want a demagogue keeping on naysaying all around and speaking things that he doesn't even understand and telling me things that, I don't want tales, I don't want stories. I want roads. I want my schools to be better. I want things to be better for me. I want a referral hospital in Nyeri. Yeah? I want that Nyeri PGH hospital to be turned into a referral hospital. And that will be possible. I want 3 roads in my constituency, Mukoreni constituency, because there's a lot of economic potential down there. But I do not want someone telling me here that Jubilee wamefanya hivi, Jubilee wamefanya vile, Jubilee wamefanya vile. What are you going to give me? Now, Jubilee imekosea. Sawa sawa wamekosea. Then what are you going to do for me?
So you can just agree with me that Jubilee has not done yet 100% of its promises according to their manifesto.
Only God is perfect. That is what I'll say. Only God is perfect. And we always, if you can observe the whole world and the way things are going, there is a rise in populist leaders. And the bridge between populism and fascism, like what led to the World War, Hitler, what led to the likes of Hitler coming up, were the likes of leaders who are pulling people towards one end on very nothings, yani. Like Donald Trump, he was telling the United States that we are going to make the US better, a better place, and you can see the types of blunders that he is making right now. And there is also a question of whether Brexit was the right thing to be done at that time by the United Kingdom to exit the Euro. But now, these populist leaders, they are just people who are uniting the people against one boogeyman. And there is always a problem with that, because when a person comes and unites you against the government, but he does not really tell you what he is going to do for you, you wonder, why are you going to join them? Because they are just looking at your emotional level and using that emotion as against you.
Maybe if I can just cut you short.
Yeah.
Are leaders, on your own opinion, are leaders born or made?
That's neither here nor there. You can make a leader, a leader can be born.
So on that note, now let's come to Nairobi,
Yeah.
the gubernatorial seat between Kidero and Mike Mbuvi Sonko.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen?
The question of Kidero and Sonko, it's a very tricky question. Right now, it's too hard to tell. It's too hard to tell. Like you can see, Mike Sonko has started to redefine himself. You saw him on Citizen TV wearing suits and everything else, saying that he is going to be the governor. And he is going to wear a gubernatorial face. And he has chosen a person who is a technocrat. He was the former BOG chairman of Bishop Gatimo Gandu Girls. And the guy has started taking another face. But you see, Kidero did not go through nominations. He has not tired, financially speaking. And, you know, in this politics, it's all about how much you have in your pocket, particularly here in Nairobi, and not necessarily to give people money, but to pay for your logistics, and it's a facilitator. And I think Kidero still has his own block. It will be a tough battle between Jubilee and
So we can't tell who is the winner.
We cannot tell.
Okay. Now on the about something that is really a calamity to this government of Kenya.
Yeah.
Starvation. People are going hungry, and apparently just recently the maize flour had skyrocketed to 250 per 2 kg. Yeah. But yesterday, the cabinet secretary adjusted the maize flour price to 90 Kenyan shillings. Don't you think it's a strategy for government to get votes?
Back in the day, in the 80s or in the 70s, I don't know about that history very well. The same situation happened. There was a drought in Kenya, and that was when the yellow maize was imported.
Yes.
Yeah, the people who are older than me, maybe you, know better about that. In 2007, immediately after the post-election violence, And in 2007, before the elections, there was the same drought. And in 2010, it ended on 2010. You remember when there was a call by Red Cross for people to give money to help the people in Turkana. So this is a thing.
Eka promo